Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here back with more Let's Play Shining Force 3! Alright, so we're gonna go back into the castle and we are going to get the items that we are missing. We've got a couple that we need to do. So we got the Macho Maul, the Ultra Lance, the Dark Matter, Gugnir. I need to start using the right names for everything, because there are a lot of names for things. There are. And it really depends on what site you're using. I'm trying to keep everything as accurate as possible, but it's difficult. Alright, so down here we have... This is Finding! Lord Symbiote, I'm glad you made it here in one piece. I have some very important information for you. Wilmer, the commander of the Mallory Army, has betrayed Lord Tristus. Yeah, we know. We've been there, done that. Alright, so large mithril is there. We also need some money and some equipment. Alright, so I believe one is in here. Somebody's looked in the barrel, and we found the lucky cookie, and that's the second lucky cookie. And here in a minute, when we start dealing with equipment, I'm going to show that off. So we were able to get those 3 treasures, because those were inside the room, the one room. I'm looking for... It may not actually even be on this floor. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm pretty sure it's not. Let me double check. Yeah, it's gonna be... Everything's gonna be up from here, I believe. So we can go over here, and I think... Yeah, there's some stuff over here. 2 treasure chests. Found the potion. And... we find the pretty glove, and that's going to go to Irene, except I'm not going to use it. So the pretty glove has lower attack, but it adds, I think, 4 agility to her stats, and the agility is nice, but we come here and we find 3,000 gold coins, which kind of help, but kind of don't, because I don't really need money anymore. I don't. So now that should be it. So yeah, we got the happy cookie, we got the gold, we got the potion, the pretty glove, we got the mithril. There's saying here on the guide that there's a healing rain. I don't know when or if that actually triggers. I don't think I need it. I'm probably not going to use it if I'm going to be completely honest with myself. I'm not. That's just not going to happen. So yeah. That's one thing. Let's go into the headquarters before we go out, and we're gonna deal with some of the stuff, because I did a lot of stuff off screen that I want to show off, because this is stuff that you guys are gonna be like, okay, this is when things cease to make some sense. Alright, did I give all of the items to everyone? Alright, I did. So, I went ahead and made all of my... I'm done with mithril items. Well, actually no, because I still need Finding when we deal with him. But, so I've done that. I'm done. So we got the Apollo pin on Symbios, and really, the Apollo pin is kind of pointless for a lot of characters. I mean, it has some decent stats. Attack 5, critical 5, luck 2. The critical's nice, the attack's nice, and the luck's nice. The fact that it's all of those things on one, that's alright. But luck, all luck really deals with is your resistance or ability to inflict status effects. If you have a luck of 9, you're immune to status effects except for illusion. And slow. Like, those are just 2 that you just can't deal with. So everything else is kind of eh. So, like, I could make a bunch of Apollo items to add, you know, 5 attack, 5 crit, and 2 luck. That would bring, like, Donteri's up to 7 luck. 7 luck is better than 5 luck, but I can't get him to 9 luck. I don't have enough lucky cookies to do that. So, there's really no point in getting a whole bunch. You can try to go for the Apollo pins for the male characters. It doesn't hurt, but I just figured there were better alternatives for my current playthrough. So, same thing goes with Artemis pins. It's the female counterpart. It's defense +5, counter +5, and luck +2. So it's the defensive options. But the fact that most of the female characters in Scenario 1 are not offensively geared, that's not really a good thing. The only reason why I gave one to Mascarin is because she is one of the few characters that is going to get 9 luck just through equipment. So I'm kind of okay with that. Her best weapon is going to give her extra. She's actually going to have 10 luck, but it caps out at 9. So, and then I made a Sleepy Rod for her because it regens 2 MP a turn, so it's actually going to be kind of beneficial for the time being. And then it has Sleep, which is a spell we're going to need in upcoming battles. So, yeah, that's something to go for. I gave the Gale Ring, and we've got Gugnir on Dantares. I put the Gale Ring because the defense and the agility, because he lost the agility from his previous lands. So that's one thing. We've got the Holy Ankh and Steel Tiara on Grace, which is actually really worthwhile, because now she's regen 4 HP and 2 MP a turn, plus she has 7 luck. So I could actually bump her up with a Lucky Cookie to 9, but I'm not going to, because she's not as imperative. We have the Loincloth on Hayward because it's 12 critical, and he's a ranged unit. He shouldn't be taking too much damage. Obright, we made Power Rings. And I actually made Power Rings for most of my force, because it's attack 5 and defense 5. It's one of the better, just all-around items, because it gets you a little bit of attack, and I do have, a good number of people who also do, melee attack, and then the defense is also something, worthwhile for them. So that's what we've got. We've got the Magna Glove and the Master Ring on Irene, and the Master Ring is critical plus 10, counter plus 10. I figure that's actually a really good stats for her, because I'm keeping the Magna Glove, which is it's critical plus 10, counter plus 5, plus a special attack, versus the Pretty Glove, which I can go ahead and show you what its stats are. Critical plus 5, counter plus 5, plus a special attack. So, but it also has agility of plus 5. So, like, I could raise her agility up to 32 for 60, a drop of 2 attack, and then a drop of 5 critical. So, that's actually kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Like, I'll keep it on her, and I'll decide whether or not. I really think I'm going to keep the Magna Glove, though, and just keep her as an all-out. She's good, and having a higher agility would be actually pretty nice, but she's got a decent agility at the moment. It's 27. So it's better than Synbios. So the only people who have better agility are people who have some really good agility items. So that would put her right up there. So that's something I'm considering. Alright, who's next? What do we got? We've got Holy Halberd and Power Ring. So again, another Power Ring. And I got this one just for the regen 2 HP. It's not her best halberd. I've had that on for a little while. The Arc Halberd is actually her best, but I figured the extra HP helps. Shiny Rapier, White Ring, keeping those. Miss Estus and the Running Ring, we're just going to keep those on, so he's got the movement plus 2. Noon has the Wendigo Wand and the Life Ring, so defensive plus 4, regen of 2 HP, and I don't think I'm going to switch out the Wendigo Wand for anything else. I think that's going to be his. Justin, we have the Flame Quarrel and the Power Ring, but he's kind of pointless at the moment because he is not he's actually in our party, but I need to switch him out. Horst has the Macho Mace and the Power Ring, so that's his best. Nothing for Pen. Ratchet, Meteor Shot, Loincloth, and Crash Anchor. Meteor Shot that is actually his strongest. He has one that actually increases his agility as well, but I didn't get that one. And then Crash Anchor, critical plus 10, special attack. I think that's pretty standard for anchors. Mithril Claw and Master Ring, again with critical. I'm just going all out with criticals. That's the goal. I did switch Murasame, or Hagane's weapon with Murasame, so he's got the Bone Eater. It's not the best katana, but I put a Master Ring, and then I also made a Spark Shuriken for him. Not the best Shuriken, it's actually the weakest Shuriken, but since it's just a secondary weapon, I didn't care as much. And then I put the Dark Helmet, the Rumbling Sea, and I made an Octagon star for Murasame, which is the second lowest shuriken. So that is my force. That's what we've got on everyone. Like I said, mostly power rings or master rings, because critical is what I tend to aim for. So that's the Artemis pin is worthwhile, but yeah, there were some things that I could do a little bit better with. So this is going to be my force for now. I am going to level this group up because they are actually going to be more than worthwhile in the coming fights. So, and we are going to give some of these items that I don't need. So I do apologize that half of this episode has not been nearly entertaining enough, but that is the downside with where I'm at the moment. But like I said, most of the characters I could not get. I'm going to go ahead and put the Elbasim Orb away. I don't need that at the moment. So that's all I really need to deposit. I can take these and take them off of the people who aren't needing them at the moment and put them on people I will be using at the moment. So that's one thing I could do. So that's one, and yeah, I'll do the same thing with Hagane. So let's take is the next thing I need to do, because I am going to start using some of these items. I've got like Power Wine, Defense Milk, Quick Chicken, Running from Window. I've got 2 Lucky Cookies. Those are going to be used on Symbios. Health Bread, Bright Honey. Like, I know these 2 are just going to be used on Symbios now, so I'm going to go ahead and put those out. And Symbios has too much, so I can't actually do anything, so I'll put it on Danteri's. And just have to be very careful how I use this, because having a hero immune to status effects is actually really, really beneficial. So, I'm going to aim for that. Especially thinking ahead for Scenario 3 and Premium Disc stuff. So Symbios uses the Lucky Cookie. Luck increased by 2. Oh, it increases by 2. I thought it only increased by 1. That means I can actually use it on someone else that will have... Ooh, that does open up some new things. Not much, really, unfortunately. Like, I could use that on Grace. It'd be kind of a waste, but I could use it on Danteri's and give him 9 luck. If I were to make a second Apollo pen, because I do have stuff. So I will keep that second Lucky Cookie for now. I will keep it for now. I forgot that it could do 2 luck. I was thinking it was just 1, but I guess it could be 1 to 2, and so therefore a little bit random. Anyway, we're gonna go on. We've reassigned our groups, so we're just gonna go ahead and leave. We can't leave that way. We have to leave through the courtyard. So that's what we're gonna do, and then there's gonna be a little bit of story, and then the next fight. So I'm gonna get into the next fight, and then probably end this episode there. So that's about where we're going to be at for this. So, where is the exit? It's this way. I went the long way around. Once we step through that gate, a showdown with Braff awaits us. Are the preparations complete, Symbios? Yeah, pretty much. It's headed for Aspia. We must crush the traitor Braff and his army. So yes, this is going to be a lot of dialogue before this fight. And then this fight really, really does kind of suck. So, I apologize in advance for that. But we leave Mallory, we're going to take on Braff. Braff would never expect us to defeat Wilmer and his army. We must not take Braff lightly, he is an excellent strategist. I'd have to agree with Murasame, because he's right there. I've been waiting for you, Lord Symbios. Can't say the same about you. It It seems you've also come to know the story of my birth. So the rumors of your mother being High Priest Basanda of the Bolzom sect are true. Mother had high praise for you, Lord Symbios. For you and the army you lead. Listen, Braff, if you knew Symbios was not responsible for your father's death, why would you still want to fight? Someone else killed my father? So he didn't know. It was the Bolzom High Priest Fial. Had he not delivered the fatal blow, General Fafard would still be alive. I wish I had learned of this earlier. My mother still loves my father. If she hears of this, she will kill High Priest Fial herself. So, can this battle be averted? Like, we didn't kill your dad. Lord Symbios managed to avoid capture by the Empire and my father's army, as well as defeat Fial. I admire him greatly. Alright, so if you admire me, we don't have to fight. I shall one day be a legendary general myself, and would be honored to test my skills against such a warrior. Advance my... So he just wants to fight us because... Braff seems intent on measuring himself against you by attacking us, Symbios. Let's hope he'll fight fairly against us. This battle will be fierce and brutal. You have no idea. No matter how skilled Braff is, we can't afford to lose this battle. Well, duh. Really? We welcome the challenge, Lord Symbios. Let us settle the score with Braff. Alright, so... this fight... There's nothing in this fight other than a giant slew of enemies. So, yeah. Let's take a look and see what we got. We got Harpies. They are pretty much the standard. We've got Bow Knights. We've been dealing with them before. Silver Knights. They are back in force. Then we also have 2 new units. We have Sorcerers. HP of 65, MP of 45, Movement of 5, Attack of 55, Defense of 40, Agility of 28, Luck of 6, Blaze 3, and Freeze 3 thanks to their Talisman Rods. We've got 2 of them right next to each other. We have Griffins, brand new flying enemies, HP of 80, Movement of 7, Attack of 60, Defense of 46, Agility of 25, Luck of 4, dropping healing drops possible. And then we've got the enemy commander, Braff. HP of 140, MP of 60, Movement of 6, Attack of 65, Defense of 49, Agility of 23, Luck of 9. He has Phoenix 2 and a Photon Blade that gives him a special attack. I believe it's called Luster Edge. I'm not 100% sure on that because I've only seen it once. I've been very lucky fighting Braff. The Photon Blade is one of the stronger blade weapons, and as you can see, he drops one as well. So I have not had to deal with that terribly much. So what we're going to do is we are just going to kind of move to the south, and we are going to take this fight in a very interesting fashion. We are not going to just rush the enemy headlong, but we are going to try to deal with them in a cluster. So we're going to come down and deal with the southern section first, and the reason why I'm going for that is mostly because of the spellcasters. Those spellcasters can and will hurt me with their level 3 spells. The Griffins can hit pretty hard, but given the fact that Hayward is now a sniping god, I'm not terribly worried, but I need to be concerned with just the sheer number of these enemies. I mean, look at how many of these enemies are there, and the fact that they are all in formation. So, their AIs are actually triggered very specifically from what I can tell, so I could just rush them, but certain enemies would not take an action until I hit a certain point. And those points do somewhat seem kind of random. Like, I've just rushed this section here going for Braff and the 2 spellcasters just head on before, and then I was attacked by the Harpy and the Griffin, but that Bow Knight did nothing, and then half of these enemies did nothing as well, until I moved a little bit closer into this section, and then they started attacking. So the AI for the enemies here is less than predictable. So what I aim to do is just kind of come down here and get my army fairly close without having to trigger a huge wave of enemies all at once. So I'm just going to take this time to position some of them before I end this episode, and then I guess we'll continue from there, because that's how this is going to go. Is we're just going to move slowly. We're going to move a little cautiously, because that is a huge group of enemies that you just don't want to just ram into head first, because that will kill you. So, and we want to be careful about positioning, and the thing about this that sucks about positioning is Braff. The fact that Braff has a summon spell makes this fight so obnoxious, because you've got one character with a high-end summon spell. Granted, at this point in the game, all summons are kind of high-end summons. And then you've got two spellcasters right next to him with AoEs. It's like, I kind of want to spread out. No, I don't, because I'm going to take a summon to the face. And there's just really not a good middle ground for any of that. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here, and I will see you guys in the next installment, where we will continue fighting Braff. So, till then, later, everyone.